It's not bad. Well, hello there to whoever came in. I'm just leaving the courthouse. And I just noticed. There it is. Gotta make sure I have my ticket. Can't be without that. I may have to spend the night in here. Okay. Yeah, goodbye. Okay, hello to whoever came in. The chat is not being displayed, so if anybody's chatting, I'm not going to be aware of it. So I'm just leaving court as I am watching the suitcase murder trial where Sarah Boone, Winter Park, Florida, left her boyfriend in a suitcase in her living room until he died. And she's been charged with second-degree murder. And so they picked the jury today, and opening arguments are going to be starting tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. And unless things change, I will not be live streaming it. The trial is going to be live streamed by Trial TV Live. And they are very good at what they do, so if you want to follow this case, which is going to be fairly interesting, there's going to be some very interesting videos that come out of it. Check them out. I retweet them on my Twitter account, and so you might be able to tune in and talk to them. Now they're going on the air at 8 o'clock tonight to go over the facts in the case, and I'm going to be on their chat as they present everything. And depending on how things go, because I didn't talk to them about simulcasting their discussion with the audience. I need to respect their copyright, so until I get permission to do anything with that, I will watch the live stream, and I will go on the air at 9 o'clock or once they're done, and I will give my perspective per se as to how things went today, the demeanor of the lawyers, some of the interesting facts that came out, and so forth. So we will be getting into that. The entire day today was more or less about jury selection. Now there was hold on a minute, I gotta go through the toll thing here. Gotta pay my toll. Well, oh, alright. Got confused there. I know this one's usually open.
Hello.
There you go.
You need a receipt as well?
Yeah, please.
You say yes to the receipt, right?
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Alrighty. And I lost my audience. That's alright, because this is going to be used as B-roll. Orange County Courthouse to the nearest Walmart. Yeah. Whoa, cut it a little closer, bud. All right, left hand, Louis. Yeah, most of this video is just going to be a B-roll type thing of just driving up to Apopka. I do have to make one stop, so I'll probably be turning this contraption off for a little bit because I got to go to Walmart to pick something up. Well, maybe not. I may forego my time. I'll forego Walmart because I thought I needed something. Turns out I don't. Yeah, somebody walking a Welsh Corgi. Dog with no tail. Kind of looks like she's got beagle mixed in with her. Cute little dog. Had a Welsh Corgi when I was a kid. Name was Susie. Cute little dog. She was all white with kind of like a big brown spot on either side of her. Ooh, the nightclub scene's starting up. Got a big old line over here. Whoa. What is everybody going to? Oh, it's hip hop. No, it's not hip hop. Whoa. I wonder if this is for the. Holy smoke. Look at all these people. Somebody real popular. And then the line stops there. So maybe it is for that nightclub. But we have a lot of nightclubs down in Orlando, so it stands to reason that people will be heading out, and there just happens to be nightclubs down here that people need to stand in line for. Dr. Phillips Center. Yeah, damn bones ain't right at that damn sun. Now, sitting through a trial all day is quite an experience. For one thing, the seats are awful. The seats that you have to sit in are very uncomfortable. And with the courtroom that we used for a while, the smaller courtroom has a god-awful sound system. And that's going to make for an uncomfortable situation tomorrow. So I'll be curious to see how that works out. Wrong with this time of day is I'm going directly into the sun. We're, only a couple weeks away from fall back to Eastern Daylight Time. And so that's what we're looking at here. It's Eastern Daylight Time coming up. And we're starting to get into the heavier of the rush hour traffic. What we're doing right now is we're headed towards the Florida Turnpike, and a whole bunch of us will be going north on the Turnpike and getting right back off again onto 429. what normally is about a half-hour ride turns into a good hour, more or less, because of all this traffic. So we'll see what we do here. Yeah, just go around. Somebody, hello there, person number one. Welcome to the drive home. Just finished up in court. Now I'm on my way back to the house. Get some rest, maybe go on the air tonight, turn around and go back down to the court. Because the trial starts in the morning with opening arguments. And in the opening arguments, we are going to learn what each side is going to present to the court in order to either convict or acquit their client, Sarah Boone. Now, this is a case I've only recently paid a lot of attention to. I've heard mention of it in the internet and on local media. But other than that, I hadn't really paid a whole heck of a lot of attention to it. I've had a lot of things going on, and I hadn't had the time until recently to sit in on something like this full time. Now, I had intended on sitting in on Stephen Stern's trial, but I was not able to do that, so I decided to sit in on this one since it's a local case, and it's a little bit weird because the woman, Sarah Boone, who is the defendant, somehow got her husband to go into a suitcase, and when he complained that he wanted to get out, that he was suffocating, she had gone upstairs and gone to bed, or at least that's her story. But at any rate, she just left the guy there. Came back down and proceeded to take a baseball bat and just beat the heck out of the suitcase with this guy in it. And the state charged him with second-degree murder. Not first-degree murder, but second-degree murder. And we have spent the last week getting pretrial stuff out of the way and selecting a jury. Getting a few motions out of the way. So all that's been done. So now we go ahead and start opening arguments tomorrow. We'll see how long the opening arguments are going to go. And then from there, we move on to the actual trial itself. And all indications are this thing is going to last 2.5 weeks. So we're into looking like this is going to be over with on the 1st of November. Or the first week in November. Now, our jury was seated today. It took a long time and went through a god-awful lot of people. And finally got a jury that is mostly women. And, you know, I just am trying to figure this out. They've got 6 regular jurors and 8 alternates. And in a case like, and you know, in situations like this, you almost always have 1 or 2 or more drop out for various reasons, and that's why we have 8 alternates. So, and what's interesting about this case is one individual came to work, or came to the court in his theme park uniform. He apparently works in the Department of Jurassic Park, which is Universal Studios. And so he came in and he's got the Jurassic Park costume on. So that's a guy that stood out in the crowd. So I'll be curious to see if he wears his theme park uniform to work, or to the trial tomorrow. I would think that these people would start dressing appropriately for all this, but we'll see. Now, because of the crowding situation, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get into the court. I do have press credentials, but it's, you know, they usually favor the mainstreams like CNN, HLN, Court TV, 35, so on and so forth. And since it's a relatively small court, if there's a lot of interest in this case as far as the public is concerned, I may not be able to get in. I'm going to try. But what I'm going to do, anyway, I'm not really going to be live streaming the daytime part of the trial, because I am doing commentary on Trial TV Live, and I haven't been live streaming. I've simply been in their channel watching the proceedings and commenting in their chat, giving them a play-by-play of how things are going in court. And that's, you know, how all this has been working out. So tomorrow. But this still has not reached the prominent interest that other cases have in Orlando, namely the Casey Anthony case and other major cases that have been tried here. Now that we're starting a principal coverage of the case, that may pick up. And it would be nice if the judge would move the trial to a larger courtroom, but we gotta stick with what the court tells us to do, so we're gonna see how this works out. And boy, we got a lot of traffic. Woo! Ooh, somebody likes me, thank you. Ooh. But one thing I'm going to do, since this is going to be a 2.5-week trial, is I'm going to start doing research into the case and give background as to what has happened over the last 4 years. This incident happened 4 years ago, and since that time, this woman has gone through a slew of attorneys. She kept firing them, and somehow she finally got a team that she likes, and so now the case is going to go forward unless she fires this bunch. She's got a lot of them to choose from. I mean, she's got 4 or 5 people on the defense team. That's so it's going to be one for the books. You know, even the Neely Blanchard case was more spectacular than this one. Neely Blanchard was one of these people that got chummy with a guy you could loosely call a legal consultant who she thought would be able to get her kids out of foster care. And after a while, she came to the realization that he wasn't going to be able to help her out. So she got a hold of a gun, went to his house, and shot him in his kitchen while he was making coffee or something. And it took 2 years to get that one in court. And she decided she wanted to be her own attorney. And the end result of that bright idea is that she got life in prison without parole. And she has also decided to appeal to the appellate court in Daytona Beach, Florida. And so that's working its way through the system. And it takes a little bit of time until we find out if the appellate court is going to come up with grounds for her to be given a new trial. Or is this the end of her and she's going to wind up in prison for the rest of her life? So, but, and since it's in the appellate court, I don't think there's going to be any live streaming of it. There could be observations made, whether or not you can live tweet from the courtroom, all that. So that'll be on the future calendar. Now, Stepp and Stearns finally came out of hiding and appeared in court down in Osceola County last week. And his stay in court was brief. And they continued the court again until February of 2025, when we're going to find out if he's going to go on trial for the first of 2 trials. This one having to do with inappropriate pictures and inappropriate things that he has alleged to have done to the child. And then that trial will happen. And then in September of 2025, there's going to be a pre-trial hearing, status hearing. And then that one, being the murder trial, is going to go ahead in late September, early October, 1 year from now. And also coming up very soon, since they have gotten the jury selected, is the Delphi murder trial in Delphi, Indiana. And this is Richard Allen, who is accused of murdering these 2 teenagers. And this is a wild case. There's been all sorts of bloggers and live streamers and forum owners, what have you, getting themselves heavily involved in that case. Weird stuff going on with that one. So that's going on. Unfortunately, the court has decided that they're not going to allow it to be streamed. It's a closed court. So we're only going to be able to rely on people in the courtroom either live texting out of the courtroom or coming out during breaks, and at the end of the day give updates on what's going on with that case. So there's a lot of activity going on in the true crime. There's also all the stuff going on with Donald Trump and the J6 defendants that are still out there. So, busy times in the true crime social media area. But since this particular case is local, I'm going to be closely monitoring the state of Florida versus Sarah Boone. So, stay tuned for that. We're almost to a pop out. Just a few minutes more. Traffic is moving along nicely. As you can see, we got a pretty decent sunset. But somehow I got to figure out how to download this video off my YouTube page and do something with it. But for now, it'll be up there and everybody can sit there and watch somebody drive home from downtown Orlando. Whoopee. But what's funny is that there are people doing videos like this where they just go one point to another and it works out quite well. And it's content like this that's the future of my channel. I'm going to be just driving around. And, you know, people decide if they're interested in it or not. And I'll be doing it in my car, and I'll also be doing runs with my motorcycle, and I'll also be doing it with my watercraft. so that there'll be a variety of things that you'll see me doing in my retirement. 74 years old as of October 10th, and retired from truck driving and other occupations that I've had. So I'm free to do whatever I want, as long as it's affordable. So that'll be that. So anybody interested in seeing an old fart driving around and visiting recreational places and other things, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, because that's what I'll be doing. And we're almost to the city of Apopka.